Hello, everyone. Sowore condemns U.S. strike in northwest Nigeria as reckless, imperialist, and extremely dangerous. According to Sahara reporters, Sowore, reacting to the development, said nobody should be rejoicing about this. This is imperialist move on the part of Trump. Former presidential candidate and activist Omoyele Sowore has criticized the United States military airstrike on suspected Islamic State ISIS fighters in northwest Nigeria, warning that the action poses grave dangers to Nigeria's sovereignty and national and regional stability. Reacting to the development, Sowore said nobody should be rejoicing about this. This is imperialist move on the part of Trump. He added that while international support could come in other forms, direct military action by foreign forces outside Nigeria was unacceptable. According to him, US could help Nigerian military, but US military carrying out attack inside Nigeria is extremely dangerous, reckless, and bad. Sowore further described the incident as a sad day for the so-called African liberation and independence. His reaction followed confirmation by United States President Donald Trump that American forces had carried out a military strike against ISIS fighters operating in northwest Nigeria. Announcing the operation on his Truth social platform on Thursday evening, Trump said, "Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorists as come in northwest Nigeria." Trump claimed the targeted fighters had targeted and viciously killed primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. He added, "I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, they will be held to pay, and tonight there was." The United States Africa Command, AFRICOM, also confirmed the operation in a post on X, stating that the airstrike was carried out at the request of the Nigerian authorities and had killed multiple ISIS terrorists. Okay, let me just even stop here and just talk about it before I continue, because I get where Sowore is coming from. I mean, the territorial integrity of a country is sacrosanct. But we must also look at it and know that the lives of the people is more sacrosanct. As much as we want a situation whereby Nigeria, nobody dares come to us. If we're just sitting down and US just decided to come in and just started bombing Nigeria, not the fact that, there are terrorists that have been killing people, this definitely would be like, an act of war. And you say, oh, Nigeria will not be at war. But in this case, we've had terrorists that have been killing people for over a decade and a half. And that's not small time. That's such a long time. And this thing has been happening for a very long time. And over the years, the Nigerian government has been unable to put a stop to this in a way that it has led to, massacre, genocide, ongoing, people being killed, and the government being helpless. And the United States did come in. But you can also see in the statement that they're making, they're saying that it is the Nigerian authority with like sort of like an invitation for at the request of the Nigerian authorities why they are doing this. So whether we now say, we can say as, oh, these people didn't know, these people just came in, but on the surface and officially, there's that thing to say, oh no, look, hey, we didn't just come into your country. There was a request, there was some collaboration. For me, it's about what is for the greater good. It is about what is it that is the best for Nigeria. Is this the best that would have? No, nobody would want to see any country, whether America or any country, coming in to come and bomb. We would have loved to have said our military were the ones doing this. Our militaries were the ones who have been able to take on the terrorists and do all of this. But we have to be truthful to ourselves. Our military have not been able, to do this. So if our military have not been able to do this, what then do we do? We'll ask for help, and wherever we can get that help, we'll go for it. Beggars can't be choosers. We can't be the one, we can't have a choice. I saw we are choosing and everything. No, this is the way we want it. We want to be able, when we don't have the capacity to be able to do it. And in the meantime, people are being killed. For those of us who live in places that are relatively safe, although is there really a safe place in Nigeria? We're in the capital and all of that. There are certain luxury that we can afford. There is certain, uh I'm just trying to find the right word to now use and say we come from a place of privilege. There are certain privileges here. That's what I'm looking for. There are certain privileges that we have that the person who is being killed by these terrorists does not have. The person whose child, whose newborn was cut into pieces and fed to dogs doesn't have. The person who they've taken over their farms, they've not allowed them to farm, they've driven them away from their towns, they don't have this luxury. So they need that action that for over a century and a half has not been forthcoming. They need something to be stopped, to say, hey, let there be a stop, to all of these killings that are happening. And that's it. Is this the best that Nigerians would have wanted? No. But it is the next best that we have, and that's why people are taking that next best that it is. In a related post, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth wrote, grateful for Nigerian government support and cooperation, while also warning of more to come without providing further duties. And you can see in terms of diplomacy, and this is where the diplomacy comes in. They're making sure they are letting they are letting everybody know that, okay, we didn't just go in there or started attacking. We got cooperation from the Nigerian government. Whether there's actually a cooperation or there's no cooperation, that's story for another day. But on the surface and on the paper, it's like we didn't just go in. We had the Nigerian government is saying they are going to cooperate. We worked with the Nigerian government and stuff like that. So we take it from there while we handle this whole terrorist menace that we have. By the time we are done handling the terrorists, then we can now come back and begin to say things like, okay, what's the best way? We don't want these people to do it. We want to be able to do it ourselves because we want to protect our sovereignty. But at this moment, where is the sovereignty? There's no sovereignty in Nigeria right now, where there's no leadership. There's nobody. You could see Mr. Tinubu that says he's the president and commander-in-chief of Nigeria, holidaying, busy meeting people. They are doubling to him. This is the time that you would have expected that he's sitting down with his war cabinet and they are mapping out things, that needs to be done, and what's the next thing, what can be done. None. The national security advisor is there with him. They are holidaying in Lagos and all of that. And we're talking about integrity, sovereignty. I mean, sovereignty where people are dying. We need to protect the lives of people as it is. AFRICOM, in a separate statement, said the strike occurred in Sokoto State, an apparent reference to Nigeria's Sokoto State. The U.S. military action comes weeks after Trump said he had ordered the Pentagon to begin planning for a potential military action in Nigeria following claims of Christian persecution in the country. Residents of Jabo Town village in Tabua local government were thrown into panic on Christmas night after a loud explosion rocked community, raising fear of a possible attack. But what we've heard so far, there haven't been any, civilian attack. And a few days ago, there were actually reports. I had no idea. I saw it. I said I was going to do it in one of my, videos, but I just ended up not doing it. Where they say, that the US was actually doing like mapping, checking out this. So it actually turned out to be true. We have this. But I think as much as for me, in every decision that is made, it's always what is for the greater good. What is it for the betterment of Nigeria? That's where the focus should be. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.